Not only do we find out who recorded Steve and is accusing Justin as well, but I did the digging into all the connections. A woman named Claire that wrote and directed a film called Empire Waste stated the following: I had repeated negative interactions with Mr. Baldoni and his associates, including VA by Mr. Baldoni. I asked Wayfair that Mr. Baldoni not be permitted on set during the majority of production as a result of these experiences. She went on to continue that in August of that year, as a result of her experiences and the ongoing press coverage relating to Mr. Baldoni, and it ends with us, she requested that he not be involved in Empire Waste marketing or the public relations. Wayfair agreed to her request, and then less than a week later, she was reached out to by Steve Sarowitz to schedule a time for them to meet, but there was no topic on what the meeting would be about. So she stated that I feared that Mr. Sarowitz wanted to discuss my recent request relating to Mr. Baldoni. So right there, I just want to say it kind of screams red flag of paranoia. Why are you worried about him having this issue if, you have nothing to hide? But she might have something to hide after all. For starters, this recording can land her in huge hot water. Yes, New York is a one-party consent state, which means as long as you are one of the parties that's involved in the conversation, you can legally record it. However, recording and publishing or recording and giving it to somebody else is a completely different matter and can fall in huge legal hot water. So while yes, she might be in a one-party state, Steve, on the other hand, lives in a two-party consent state. And depending on where this meeting took place, she could land herself in very hot water with just the recording itself. Now, when it comes to her giving it to Blake, if she sold it, she's going to get in huge trouble. Like if there was any kind of contingency or reward for her getting it, she's going to be in trouble. It's the same thing with me, for instance. I can't go around and just record conversations. That's why you see any reporters, whether it's news, radio, they always give a disclaimer that, hey, one, you're being recorded, and two, it will be published. That way they're, legally covering their butts. So you can't just go around recording people and publishing it for monetary purposes. And you can't go around recording a conversation and selling it either. Empire Waste is her first feature film as a writer and director. The scenes were filmed in central New York in 2021. So keep all of that in mind that she is now reaching out 2-3 years later talking about this experience. When I looked at her post, it looks like she's had a good relationship with Justin because she tagged him and seemed like everything is all good. A few things to consider is Justin Studios was not the only producers on the film. In 2019, Claire fell under hard times. The place that she was working at was having major layoffs, so she had to decide, do I find a new job or do I chase my dreams? So she decided, I'm going to give Empire Waste a shot. Claire went all over the US trying to share her script, and in 2020, a talent agency reached out to her and introduced her to Wayfair Studios, who eventually financed and produced Empire Waste. Claire is also in the comedy scene and was an essayist for Amy. The name should ring a bell because remember, I know there was a rumor that Ryan last minute changed the joke, but SNL came out and spoke and said, no, that's not what happened. And the joke was in it from rehearsal. So everybody knew about it. If that connection's not enough, Claire stated that she has a bunch of friends that write for SNL. Oh, I've got one more for you. She wrote for New York Times 7 years ago. Yep, what a coincidence. Here's my theory what happened, and I'm going to base it off of my timeline video. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out. I'll put it down below. So is it possible that in July, as Blake and Ryan were making Justin's life a living hell, that during this time period, they also reached out to people that were close to Justin in order to make it look like everyone around him that was working with him was having issues with him? Empire Waste came out at the end of September, so the whole premiere ordeal with Justin in the basement had already happened, but New York Times article never happened yet. The CRD complaint never happened yet. So why would she be cutting him from the film simply because he wasn't being seen with the cast? Unless someone from the cast had reached out to her. I went back to my timeline and here's what I noticed. December 20th, we had the CRD complaint. The next day, we had the New York Times article. 2 days later, the pro-Blake account that Ryan is following had started posting pro-Blake content on social media. That same day, I didn't even connect this before, is when Liz Plank announced that she was leaving Man Enough podcast. A coincidence or planned? Because it all is starting to seem like this is all a planned dog pile to make it seem like, look, there's all these people having this issue all at once. He must be a problematic person. Is it possible that Blake and Ryan went for the most vulnerable people in Justin's circle? This seems like they're going after people that are up and coming talents trying to make a name for themselves. Claire, Liz Plank. Neither of them really had anything going for them other than what Justin was providing. So if they can provide something more or better than what Justin is giving them, then, that lets them climb the ladder to success that they want. Would they go for it? Because you also have to consider that Claire also has a podcast where she likes to interview comics. Is it possible that Ryan, during this whole John Candy thing, is making promises that she'll be able to interview some of the comics? Let's consider a few things, shall we? Either option A, Justin is telling the truth and this is all a big plan from Blake and Ryan. Or option B, Justin is completely different when the camera is off and all of these women are telling the truth. Now, here's some things to also consider. The only thing that we know from Blake is that Justin used the word sexy. Now, considering that they're in the entertainment industry, the context of it severely matters because you have to use descriptive words when you're trying to describe what you're trying to articulate in the film and what you want the audience to get from it. So there's a lot to consider in that. Now, with Claire, she did not explain any of the instances of what issues she had with Justin. And if you're going to make any claims, tell us the full story. Give us the full facts. Don't just say, oh, I had VA. What happened? Give us some context, because also, did you file anything? I have a lot of questions. You're leaving more questions than answers. The irony of all of this is that Empire State is described as a Mean Girls level story of schoolgirls overcoming bullying, but also finding friendship, looking out for one another. So let's consider if Justin is telling the truth and Justin, has been wonderful for you. He literally helped you make your dreams come true. Why are you backstabbing him? Same thing goes for Liz. You're having multiple people that are close to him where he's giving you an opportunity to be better, to have a better opportunity for yourself and get more success as you want. And yet you're backstabbing and betraying for what? For more money, for more opportunity? What? And when I think about Justin's filing where they state that the plaintiff didn't provide any explanation of why they wanted this recording sealed, just shows that they're trying to do all of this as a PR stunt. That way, oh my gosh, it's sealed. There must be something really damaging on it. Come to find out there's literally not anything at all. It's not even worth sealing or even having. So it all goes down to this. Is this all just a PR way to manipulate the public? That's, again, why we don't believe in mainstream media anymore, because they've lost integrity. If you can be bought to manipulate the narrative, then you do not have integrity. My theory is here in a few months, maybe even next year, we're going to hear about Claire having some big upcoming project. And lo and behold, there's going to be some kind of tie with Blake and Ryan. Mark my word, this is, let's see what date it is, October 11th. As always, this is all alleged, so take it with a grain of salt. But let me know what you guys think and what your theories are. Do you think Justin is innocent, or do you think there's more to the story? As always, like I said, this is all alleged, so take it with a grain of salt and follow me for more.